Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And your Lord of Penny. Say hello, Satsu.
What up, now?
And I'm your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey. And before we get started, just like to say thank you to Johnny Hellcat before the stream, who said, "Can't keep eyes open. Have a good stream." Thank you so very much for that. I appreciate it. I feel you. Almost fell asleep before one of my streams today. Just laid down for a moment and my body was like, go to sleep. But I fought that urge because I'm a moron.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing tonight, Satsu?
Pretty good. Had a fairly standard day, and I tried to cook something new today that I've never made before, and it turned out fucking awesome. So feeling good about myself.
Cool. And Scribbles, how you doing?
I'm all right. It was a standard work day, I suppose. Nothing crazy happened, which was nice, until I got home, and then the news hit. But we'll talk about that presently.
All right. And let's see. I had a pretty decent day. I mean, I didn't start my day well, but it's gotten to be better, including near the end when I was upstairs just before I came down to set up the stream and everything. We'd had dinner, and I went and laid on the couch to watch TV, and the little one went and had a bath, and she comes out, and I don't think she realized I was still there. And she likes to yell. She's ah, and when she does, I yell back. And so I did that, and she turned and looked at me. She comes crawling over. Well, my feet had been cold all day, so I was wearing socks. But that weird pain in my leg, we don't need to discuss it. I took one of my socks off, and I laid it on the floor beside me. Well, she's crawling over to me. She finds that sock. You'd have thought she found gold, y'all. She was whipping it all around and playing with it and happy and laughing. And Lady Monkey made the joke that she's an elf and she's free now. For those of you who get that reference. I was like, no, I have to give it to her. She goes, didn't you? I'm like, well, I guess. But yeah, she thought that was just the bomb. And then she wouldn't let me leave.
Oh.
I got up to go downstairs, and she'd been across the room playing with the DVDs because that's what she does now. She came just beelining over to Grandpa. I'm like, oh, baby, I love you so much, but I has to go. I has things to do. But yeah, she's a sweetheart, and I had a good day with her. I saw her more than I normally do today, which was cool.
Yay, Pumpkin.
Yeah, Pumpkin's sweet. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button, y'all, and please share our stuff. I've noticed YouTube won't let me share my streams.
What do you mean?
On my main channel here, the last 2 streams that I've done, when I go to, you hit the share button, it brings up a white box with an X in it off to the left side, but that's it. Just a little white box. Like, it worked fine on my game channel. It's just not letting me do it on my main channel. So I don't know if there's some issue with YouTube or if I'm in some bad box or something. But if you guys could
box, you mean?
Whatever. If you guys could share whatever way you want to say it, Scribbles.
Yes.
If you guys could share, I would really, really appreciate it, because apparently I can't. I actually had to copy the address from the top and tweet it out manually. Fuckers. Anyhow, I know we have news.
Yep.
What kind of news do we have for the people tonight, Scribbles?
Well, as of this moment, at least, in Philadelphia, earlier today, police were serving a warrant in some kind of narcotics raid at a house in, what they call it? It's a neighborhood. I'm trying to find them. Anyway, in the course of this serving of the warrant, there was a gunfight. 6 officers were injured. 6 officers were shot, and several others were injured. All the officers who were shot, as of right now at least, did not suffer fatal wounds. It's all sort of, they should all survive. As of right now, the suspect remains barricaded in the home. Philadelphia Police Sergeant Eric Grip said on Twitter around 9 p.m. Eastern that the situation remains active. Quote, the suspect remains barricaded as PPD officers continue to attempt to communicate with him. Officers had returned fire at the shooter, Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Ross said at a press conference Wednesday. Some of the officers who were responding to the incident had to escape through windows and doors. One officer had a gunshot wound grazing his head, but all 6 officers who were shot have non-life-threatening injuries, and, quote, everyone is going to be okay, he said. Let's see. So
Jedi Ghost Bear just said it right. Thank God for bad aim.
Yeah, well, there's that. So from what I can gather, they served the warrant. The officers were in the house, and then someone in the house started shooting at the officers in the house. And as they tried to, retreat from the area, 6 of them got hit. There were other people in the house at the time, at least a couple of adult women and some children, so far as I hear, because at one point the police were escorting women and children out of the home, according to the news. So they might have been hostages of a kind, but now they're out. So supposedly, at least the suspect is in there. We don't know, and it hasn't said if there's anyone else in there. At least one shooter is barricaded in the house, and 2 officers are trapped inside.
Yeah.
Oh, that part I didn't see. So he's got 2 cops hostage.
That or they're pinned down in a way they can't get out safely.
That too. Okay. But
my guess would be hostage, though.
Yeah. So, this is as they've said on the news over and over, this is a fluid situation. I will continue refreshing the page as the show goes on in case there are any updates. And of course, if anybody in the chat sees an update before I do, by all means, blurt it out so we can let everybody know. But just what we needed, just what the nation needed. Now, a lot of the news guys were saying like, oh, and this is just after El Paso, and this. It's a little bit different. That it's not good, but this wasn't somebody going nuts and walking into a shopping mall. This was, unfortunately, just criminal activity with police serving a search warrant. So. Yeah.
Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, Cryptic, who says this battle's not even over, and Harris, CNN, and Crystal Lady is fucking using this for gun control in 2020. Fuck Democrats.
Probably.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
I'm sure.
I'm surprised it's only them. Honestly. That the whole Democratic field's not doing it.
Give it a day. So let's wait and see how this turns out.
Yeah.
And then let's see which side of the which way they decide to have the wind blow in their direction.
Yeah, not a good thing, and hopefully nobody else is hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. So sorry. Man.
Now, of course, there are conspiracy theories.
Of course.
That this was somehow instigated to take the press pressure off of the Epstein case.
Well,
which is, I think, absolute bullshit. But I've seen it in too many places now not to at least mention that that's where tinfoil hat territory has taken us.
Let me throw this out to you, Scribe.
Okay.
This happened in Pennsylvania, correct?
Yes.
And where did the former warden of MCC go? He's now he's temporarily overseeing a prison in Pennsylvania.
Oh my God! Get out the red string.
That can't be coincidence, man.
Coincidence?
Look,
I don't think not.
I know people have mentioned in chat that Sinatra called that, major shooting. This is not the kind of thing I would think anybody. This is a standoff.
Yeah.
There's standoffs all the time with police. They just usually end a lot sooner than this one did. That's why this one's still news.
Yeah, barricaded and with cops inside the same building. That's not usual. So. Hopefully it gets resolved peacefully and quickly, but
still there is that Pennsylvania connection. I'm just saying.
I guess so. There. All right, Alex Jones.
Excuse me.
Alex Monkey.
Art Bell. Thank you very much.
Art Bell. Ooh, Art Bell. There you go.
My
Coast to Coast AM.
My conspiracy theories are a little better, and my voice is a lot better than Alex Jones.
The Shadow People and Mel's Hole and the Area 51 phone call guy.
Area 51.
Area 51 phone call guy. That was probably one of the best classic moments. Anyway, you guys have no idea what we're talking about. A long dead guy. The guy who took over for Art Bell sucks. Sorry, George Norrie. You're just no good.
Look, Art Bell made Coast to Coast. Without him, It's just not the same. So. Anyhow, God damn, I'm afraid to ask. What else we got?
Well, you know, there's some people I don't understand why they keep being elected as stupid as they are most of the time. And Steve King is one of those people.
You're gonna read Chris Cillizza, aren't you?
No, this is Claire Foran. Claire Foran from CNN says Steve King questions if there would be any population left if not for rape and incest.
Yeah. He did that.
This is a thing that a person has said in government. GOP Representative Steve King of Iowa questioned on Wednesday whether there would be any population left on Earth if not for rape and incest, a remark that has drawn condemnation from both Democrats and Republicans. Surprise, surprise. Quote, what if we went back through all the family trees and just pulled those people out that were products of rape and incest? Would there be any population of the world left if we did that? He said in Urbandale, Iowa, according to a video posted online by the Des Moines Register, which was first to report on the remarks Wednesday. Quote, considering all the wars and all the rape and pillage that has taken place, I know I can't certify that I was not a part of a product of that, King said. Steve, I will not argue that you may be a product of incest at this point. But anyway, quote, I'd like to think that every one of the lives of us, I'm reading it as written, guys. The lives of us are as precious as any other life, he added. You mean okay, in spite of the product of being rape or incest?
Well, here's the argument, and this is an anti-abortion argument, is that the child did nothing wrong. And you know what? In that case, you're absolutely right. However, making a woman carry a rapist baby for 9 months is cruel and unusual.
Yeah.
And even, you know what, Steve, you may be right for a lot of family lines. It's certainly not the entire world's population. It might be a lot of them of former slave owners, because we know that happened. I just don't get his point there. Like, that doesn't make it okay that people were forced to carry babies that they didn't even want to have sex with the person that did it to them. Does it?
Is that why he was making the point? I still haven't figured out why he said it.
No, the point is that you can't blame the child just because the mom was raped. It's not the child's fault that the mom was raped.
Oh, so this is a pro-life argument.
Yeah, it's pro-life.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I was confused. I'm like, what the? I'm not understanding the reasoning behind this. Okay.
Yeah. Even if he was correct, I mean, so it was just in chat. We've civilized since then. I mean, even if you want to go back through, yes, all the raping and pillaging that's happened throughout the years, Steve, it doesn't make it okay, you disgusting prick. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there like that, Scribe. I did send you Chris Cillizza's article if you wanted to see it, by the way. Because I read his, and his is about, why don't the Republicans just get rid of this guy already?
Yeah, I don't disagree, but it's not really their call as long as people keep voting him in.
It is. In Congress, when it comes to Congress, either house of Congress, you can get rid of somebody with a simple 2/3 majority vote.
Yeah, but Republicans rarely ever eat their own unless it's something really serious.
I don't think this is worse than anything else this asshole said, to be honest with you, because he's a moron.
Yeah, maybe this is just standard. They've had a tolerance to his bullshit at this point.
Yeah. The argument is that, he was just elected, and that's what the election is for. There've been, in Chris's article, he talks about there's been 5 times that House members have been kicked out. 3 of them were for being traitors to the Union, and the other 2 were for people who were convicted of bribery and corruption. So this is just, okay, he's a moron. He's a moron and most likely a racist. Those aren't illegal. So yeah, you leave it up to the electorate. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. I mean, Ocasio-Cortez gets a job. Chris King gets a job. Or Steve King gets a job. It's okay. They cancel each other out. We'll move on. Well, stop giving this idiot press. How about that? Until it's time to vote somebody else in. Then give him press. Stop paying attention to his dumbass until then.
Now, in that vein, I will skip the Chris Cillizza article.
You can look at it if you want to. I pretty much gave you the basis for it.
Yeah. Well, how about the stock market?
Oh, how's it doing? I haven't seen if it bounced back or not.
Dow tumbles 800 points after bond market flashes a recession warning. The Dow fell 800 points Wednesday after the bond market, for the first time in over a decade, flashed a warning signal that it has an eerily accurate track record for predicting recessions. Here's what happened. The 10-year Treasury bond yield fell below 1.6% Wednesday morning, dropping just below the yield of the 2-year Treasury bond. It marked the first time since 2007 that 10-year bond yields fell below 2-year yields. U.S. stocks fell as investors sold stock in companies and moved it into bonds. The Dow fell as many as 808 points and was nearly 3.1% lower at the close. The broader S&P 500 closed down 2.9%, and the NASDAQ sank 3% Wednesday. It was the worst day for stocks in 2019. What?
In 2019.
Yeah, so far.
The reason I laugh at that is because we saw the worst day for stocks in 2018, which is obviously worse than 2019, or they'd be telling us it was the worst in 2 years or 10 years.
That's true.
Everybody's a prognosticator in this stuff.
Let's see. Here's what all this means. Normally, long-term bonds pay out more than short-term bonds because investors demand to be paid more to tie up their money for a long time. But that key yield curve inverted on Wednesday. That means investors are nervous about the near-term prospects for the U.S. economy. Bonds and yields trade in opposite directions, so yields sink when investors buy bonds. Part of the yield curve has been inverted for several months. In March, the yield on the 3-month Treasury bill rose above the rate on the 10-year Treasury note for the first time since 2007. It inverted again on July 24th and has remained negative. But Wednesday marked the first time in over a decade that the main yield curve, the 2-year, 10-year ratio, had inverted. That spooked Wall Street because an inversion of the 2-10 curve has preceded every recession in modern history. That doesn't mean a recession is imminent, however. The Great Recession started nearly 2 years after the December 2005 yield curve inversion. So this conceivably marks the possibility that we may have a recession in the next 18 to 24 months.
Maybe.
Well, according to some headlines, it's happening right now, and it's already happened, and we need to get Trump out of the office because it's happened. It's doing it right this second.
I think economics is too hard to predict the way. I mean, we'll see.
Yep, that's all we can say.
Yeah. Hopefully, if this is a signal that a recession is coming, then people who know the history of their stock markets will know what led to said recessions and find ways to try to mitigate the risk. Because isn't that what part of playing the stock market is, mitigating risk? Unless you're trying to short everything, of course, and then you win for losing. But what do I know?
Well, we know, regardless of how bad this news could end up being, we know people who are definitely happy about this being a possibility.
Yes.
Like, oh, fuck yeah, recession? I can't wait.
Yeah, if we have to debate Trump during a recession, oh, that is an arrow in our quiver.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Maher, let's tank the economy so that we can't have Trump with that kind of defense.
More and more people are saying that now.
Yeah.
I know. It's so stupid.
Real quick, it's Jordan's birthday.
So,
Michael Jordan?
Not that Jordan.
Oh.
The better Jordan who makes memes for us.
Oh, Jordan 250.
Jordan 250, it's your birthday. And Jordan says, Say something about singing with our melodious, miraculous, whatever voices. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Oh, okay.
Jordan, this one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Nobody cares, Jordan.
Happy birthday to you.
You're not special. Everyone has a birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Jordan. Thank you for all the pictures and memes.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jordan. I hope you had a good one. And Race Car Scribe was there.
Let's see. Now, I don't mean to keep making this like a nightly thing, but CNN just keeps roping me in with these headlines. Facts first.
Oh, God.
Fact check. Kamala Harris makes false claim about Trump and auto jobs.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Well, between being berated by elderly women about her health care plan, maybe this is just a new black eye. In an interview with CNN on Monday, Senator Kamala Harris argued that President Donald Trump has failed to deliver on his promises to workers, and she issued a dire warning about auto workers' jobs in particular. Quote, he said he was going to help working people, and it is estimated that as many as 300,000 auto workers may be out of a job before the end of the year, unquote. She said aboard her campaign bus in Iowa. That was a more conservative figure than Harris used July 12th on the radio show The Breakfast Club, during which she said, quote, he's helped the top 1% and the biggest corporations. Meanwhile, some estimate that as many as 700,000 auto workers were going to lose their job before the end of the year, unquote. Both figures are incorrect.
Why you hold that thought, Cryptic? Thank you so much. Someone's going to call the cops on Scribe or Asylum. They get calling Asylum on you for the way you were singing.
I hope it's Arkham Asylum. Facts first. There is no credible estimate that 300,000 auto workers might lose their jobs by the end of the year, and there has been an increase in auto worker jobs during the Trump presidency, though there has been a slight decrease over the past year. We can't fact check the future of automotive employment. Anything is possible, even a sudden depression. But Harris was wrong to claim that experts are suggesting there may be a massive decline in auto worker jobs within 5 months. Harris's campaign told CNN that the, quote, 300,000, unquote, figure came from a study published in February by the Center for Automotive Research. That study, however, estimated approximately 367,000 job losses in the entire economy, not among auto workers in particular. And the estimate was for job losses a year after Trump imposed a 25% tariff on automobiles and auto parts from every country except Canada, Mexico, and South Korea, which he has not done. Christian Dizek, a co-author of the study and the Center for Automotive Research's vice president for industry, labor, and economics, said the center has not published a specific job loss estimate for auto workers, but she said it is highly unlikely there would be a loss even close to 300,000 auto workers by the year's end. This goes on for another 2 pages, but short version is Harris is talking absolute, not even sort of embellishing something or sort of getting a couple of digits wrong or something. No, she's making the whole thing up.
Scribe. Is she morally correct? She doesn't have to be factually correct as long as she's morally right. I mean,
it seems like now we're getting into the territory where they have gotten comfortable with the fact that they've been able to say whatever they want and nobody will check them on it. And if they do, it'll be conservatives and they could just say, well, they're conservatives. You're going to trust a conservative website. But now they're actually being criticized on their shit. So I wonder if they'll start getting a little more careful now that they can actually be criticized on their numbers and shit now. Because before they could say whatever and it didn't matter. People just be like, yeah, well, they said it. We don't care if it's true or not, though.
Yeah, I am curious because this is CNN is having a pattern lately of, well, going after the other side of the aisle. I wonder if maybe Trump's not getting as many clicks as anymore as they used to get
That
with the
could be
Russia
it.
thing ending.
That could be it.
I wonder how much it has to do with Biden, because
Hmm.
Harris certainly seemed to be their candidate, and then Biden entered the race, and then he everybody's like, Biden's going to win this, and then Harris came out and slapped him around a bit, and they've been taking some shots at Harris. Now, I don't want to sound that conspiratorial, but it is weird for them to fact check that hard on somebody like that.
Well, Tulsi Gabbard really brought Harris down a few pegs, and Harris's reaction to Gabbard really brought herself down. So she's showing that she's not the strong candidate, at least in relation to, say, Biden, that CNN was pumping her up to be prior to this.
And no matter what you think about the politics of the press, they still love when there's blood in the water.
Yeah.
Left, right, center, does not matter. Blood in the water, and they are there.
I was thinking about this today, as I want to do. Okay, so I think it's fair to say that at the present time, Joe Biden is still the front runner by all sort of measurements.
Nationally, a poll just came out today where he's only 1 point ahead of Warren. You know who wasn't on that list very high at all?
Cory Booker.
Kamala Harris.
Oh, okay. Well, so let's for the sake of argument, let's say Biden is technically, if not the front runner, then just a little bit ahead. Let's say he's removed from the equation, and I don't mean that in some kind of conspiratorial way. I'm talking about like he drops out or he doesn't make, like, just hypothetically speaking, he's not there. Out of the current field, then is Warren the likely nominee?
No.
So who is?
I think the current field, if Biden drops out, they fall back to Kamala, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Warren and Sanders are far too left, and I think everybody except for them and their hardcore fans know it. So they need somebody who is going to be not necessarily a corporate candidate, but an old school Democrat candidate. You're Clinton, you're Obama, and yes, Obama was left of Clinton, but he is still far right of Sanders and Warren.
Yeah, because Warren and Sanders, I mean, they may be have a very energized fan base, but as far as having broad national appeal, I'm having a hard time thinking of anybody in the current crop except for maybe Biden who fits that bill. Even Kamala Harris. I mean, if I go down the list, I'm trying to think, like, is there somebody on the current crop aside from Biden that has appeal beyond, that a centrist / independent could also latch onto?
Daley.
Hmm.
Is that name Tom DeLay?
Tom DeLay.
Now, who was the guy that was arguing with Warren and Sanders the other day? Tim Ryan? Was it Tim Ryan? No,
I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about.
The balding dude. Shit, I'll have to look up.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'll find his name.
Okay. Well, if I don't know who you're talking about, that's not a good sign for the. Tim Delaney? They say Tim Delaney.
Delaney, thank you.
Okay.
That's it.
I didn't hear you, Satsu.
Yeah, I'm like, Delaney?
Yes, it was Delaney.
Okay.
He would be the other one who's close. He doesn't have the numbers right now, and they'd have to pump a whole lot of...
Or the name recognition.
Clearly.
Again, this early on, name recognition isn't that important.
Yes, but...
We're getting to where it's going to matter more. When's the first thing? April? Something like, I forget when the first ones are. It's coming up where it'll matter, but it's still a wide open field at this point. And if for some reason Biden can't do it, if you're looking for your old school candidate, it's probably him. At least from what we saw in the debate stage the other day. Mm-hmm. He's the one that was arguing with Warren and Sanders about, we can't do all of that, you fucking weirdos.
I'm just wondering if he doesn't have a brain meltdown and stumble so bad in the next debate that he can't recover.
He could, but I mean, right now he's like a 0 candidate, half-point candidate at best.
Well, Monkey might be right on the recognition part, because right now, high recognition is a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, your name's out there a lot, but they're like looking at you with a fucking microscope. Anything you do or say could get you fucking knocked out. So,
that's true. I mean, that's true of just about any candidate who gets any traction, and that's what should be happening. So,
right. I'm just saying, like, maybe just being out there enough for people to know what your policies are, for the big boys to fuck up enough to where people are like, I don't know about them, and then stepping in strong a little bit towards the end could be a good strategy. I mean, it's a gamble for sure, but
as long as you keep up the money, you're fine. That's what matters right now, is keeping donations coming in.
Yeah, but we also know that doesn't necessarily a guaranteed win make after Beto, after Hillary, after so many others who had giant war chests and still fucked up.
Indeed.
Of course.
But anyway, that's all the stories I had.
And real quick, butt itches. I'm guessing you're saying Buttigieg. No, he's as left as Warren is at this point.
Yeah, and he's too. I don't know. He doesn't inspire.
He's 13.
After seeing his performance, let's say when he went back to his hometown to deal with the police shooting and facing the town halls, it reminded me of like when Bernie was running the first time and he got his podium taken away by the Black Lives Matter girls. Yeah. Okay, and when I saw when I see someone so willing to just sort of acquiesce to a loud voice like that, I just try to project that person into the White House having to deal with a stressful situation or having to negotiate something with the other side of the aisle or another world leader or whatever else. And if I can't picture someone like that being able to stand up for themselves and by extension the country, I don't really have a lot of confidence in them as a president. They might be a fine person. It's got nothing to do with them as their character. They might be a completely nice person otherwise, but that's not what I need to see in a presidential candidate. Anyway, that's just my little commentary. Otherwise, and guys, just so you know, there's as of right now, at least, CNN has not updated the live updates on the Philadelphia standoff. So as soon as something does pop up, I'll let you know.
All right, and with that, guys, we're going to move on to the hashtag MSS News. If there's a story you want us to take a look at, send it to us over at the hashtag MSS News on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all, but that's just because I can't think of a good reason.
Scribe? That's very, very deep.
I'm a deep man.
Yes. This one comes from Silly Billy. But not a very silly story as far as I can tell, if it'll come up here. Okay. Mom pleads for return of autistic son's support dog that was stolen.
Okay.
The mother of a 12-year-old autistic boy is making a desperate plea for the return of her son's support dog after the animal was stolen in Stockton over the weekend. Cynthia Niswanger of San Diego was with her son, Nico, and a friend returning home from a road trip to Oregon on Sunday when they all stopped at a McDonald's on Charter Way near Interstate 5. Niswanger said she left the dog, Sloan, inside her locked car with the air conditioning running as the three of them went inside of the restaurant to use the bathroom. The mother said she kept her eyes on the car through the restaurant's windows as she waited to use the bathroom. She and her son rushed back outside and watched as her car was being driven away. A man had broken into the car and took it with the dog inside along with their belongings. Quote, I ran and screamed, leave my dog, but Nico was with me, Niswanger said on a Facebook post, seeking help to find her dog. He got away with my car, Nico's iPad, all my luggage, and worst of all, our dog Sloan, she wrote. Niswanger spent the rest of the day searching for Sloan. She posted information about the dog online and contacted police. She hired an Uber to take her and her son around town to look for the dog, canvassing the streets into the late evening hours. Quote, I spoke to homeless and disenfranchised, putting the word out, I just want the dog, she said. The following day, they reached out to shelters and animal hospitals. On Monday, they received a lead. Police located Niswonger's stolen Ford Focus, but the dog and their belongings were gone. Investigators dusted the car for fingerprints, and Niswonger said police planned to look at footage from surveillance cameras at the McDonald's where the car was stolen, as well as a nearby home. Later that day, Niswonger said with a heavy heart it was time they returned home without their trusted dog, noting, quote, "There's nothing more we can do." Yeah. So, assholes, give back the dog.
Don't steal cars.
Don't steal cars, but at the very least, give back the dog. Okay. Anyway, so
People are assholes.
Yep. Moving on. This one comes from Frosted Glass. And this is from The Root. Oh, God, we haven't done a Root article in a long time. Now, there's the article that was sent to us by Frosted Glass, and then there's the one off to the side panel. And the one off to the side is a little preview that says, "White guy spits on black girlfriend after her bizarre request for slavery roleplay."
Wow.
I might look at that one later, but for now, here's the one that was actually sent to us. Trump campaign is selling Fredo unhinged shirts following CNN host Chris Cuomo's dust-up.
That's ridiculous.
The shirt says Fredo unhinged, text Fredo to, and then a number. Oh, God. A lot can be said about the Trump campaign, but one would have to admit that they know how to seize a moment and make a buck, no matter how morally corrupt or ethically embarrassing.
Really?
Have you watched the Trump campaign since 2016?
Have you watched the fucking media since 2016?
The Trump campaign is now selling Fredo Unhinged t-shirts with screenshots of CNN host Chris Cuomo's face during a recent fuss fight with an asshat who called him Fredo. A video of Cuomo about to beat the brakes off of a white man trying to be cute went viral recently. Wait, what's Chris Cuomo?
What's it got to do with him being white?
I have no idea.
Apparently, Cuomo ain't white.
Well, no. I mean, that guy did use the Italian word for the N-word.
Yeah.
Are Italians not white now when it's convenient?
Yes. In the video, the man thought it would be funny to call the host Fredo, a reference to the inept son in The Godfather. Needless to say, Cuomo, who is with the shits, I guess is like down with the sickness. I don't know. Threatened to throw the funny man down some stairs. Or as Cuomo put it, "I'll fucking throw you down these stairs like a fucking punk," unquote. At one point, Cuomo claimed that the word Fredo was as demeaning to Italians as the N-word is to African Americans. It's not. That was the Root talking, by the way. Anyway, yeah, so if you want a Fredo Unhinged t-shirt, you can find that apparently on the Trump campaign website.
Smart. I wish I'd thought of it.
Well, nothing says you can't do it now. Nothing's the name
True.
Fredo is not copyrighted, so far as I know, until Chris Cuomo says so.
I like the fettuccine owl and then a picture of his face, the mecha.
Fettuccine owl.
That's my favorite one.
This one comes from an American Celt. Man arrested in Old Town attack. First, and I can't read this unless I subscribe. Okay, well, I will read the caption as much as I can. Man arrested in Old Town attack, first in Oregon to be accused of a bias crime. Under Oregon's new law, it is now a felony to commit a bias crime when a person intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly causes physical injury to ... and I can't read anymore. So, good job, newspapers. Do you want people to read your stuff? Here, I'll try this. Let me try this. I have a trick I can try. The trick I usually do is I click on it, and then I take a screenshot before the little ad thing pops up. And I have some of the text. Here we go. A 58-year-old man arrested over the weekend is the first person in Oregon to be accused of a bias crime, a new state law that went into effect last month. Robert Odin O-D-E-N. Odin has been charged with 1 count of bias crime in the 1st degree, felony assault in the 4th degree, 2 counts of harassment, and 2 counts of bias crime in the 2nd degree. Under Oregon's new law, it is now a felony to commit a bias crime when a person intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly causes physical injury to another person because of the actor's perception of the victim's race, color, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, or national origin.
Wait.
Because of the actor's perception.
So even if they're not that, if they perceive them to be that and act based on that, they still get in trouble? Like it's still a...
That's less interesting to me than how they are going to, in a court of law, effectively read the mind of the person. I mean, I suppose you could say it's no different than trying to prove intent when debating between first-degree murder and manslaughter kind of thing. It's like, because I always think back to the Pistorius trial in South Africa, because the big question was, did he shoot through the doorway intentionally trying to kill his girlfriend, or did he think that it was actually a robber? And then they spent the entire time trying to figure out the answer to that question based on the evidence. So that's the only way they could go, I could think.
So they're making crimes more criminal.
I guess. Odin has been accused of assaulting a group of people leaving CC Slaughters, a gay nightclub in Old Town, over the weekend. At about 2 a.m. Saturday, 3 men and a witness, okay, all of whom the prosecutors said were Latino, were walking away from CC Slaughters. As the group walked along the sidewalk talking, Odin was sitting in an alcove of a nearby building. None of the men spoke with Odin. Odin is accused to, I think you mean accused of, but anyway, accused to yelling at them, using homophobic language towards the group, and attacking them, hitting 3 in the face. The group escaped, but Odin is accused of yelling, quote, "Go back to your country," unquote.
Wait.
Yeah.
They got him for homosexual stuff, but he yelled, "Go back." Like there's a gayistan?
Well, if you saw them as Latino.
So can they get him for a double bias crime? Is that why it's 1st and 2nd degree?
Right, yeah.
Which one's the 1st degree? Thinking that they're gay or thinking that they're from another
country? I don't
country?
know. My screenshot ends there, so.
Oh.
That's the details as I have them.
How about make assault the punishment for assault as bad as you think assault under any circumstance would be? How about that? Because there's no difference whether you punch a guy because you think he's gay or because he's there.
Well, okay. This isn't a story because I can't read it. It's a video, but I'll just tell you what the video portrays. I will retweet it so you can take a look on my feed if you'd like. This Mercy of Wits sends this to us. It is a video of residents in the Philadelphia neighborhood, the Pennsylvania neighborhood, I think, or is it Philadelphia neighborhood, who are throwing things at the police responding to the shooting.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah. So in the middle of this shootout and standoff and police being shot and injured and in danger. Yeah. Let's see. There's been an update on CNN. Suspect also being investigated by federal law enforcement. Philadelphia police officers first came to the house where the standoff is taking place to serve a state narcotics warrant, and they came under fire, according to a law enforcement source. 2 police officers are still barricaded inside the building. At least one suspect, police have said they aren't sure whether there's just one shooter inside the house, is also the subject of a separate federal law enforcement investigation, the source added. So that's the latest on, another update. The 2 police officers are safe and out of the house. The suspect is still armed and inside the house, and people are being advised to continue to avoid the area. Okay, so all the cops, in one way, shape, or form, are now out of the line of fire. Well, conceivably. Hopefully.
Out of the line of bullet fire.
Yeah.
In the line of fucking pedestrian debris, because that's a thing, I guess.
It says that they were evacuated by the SWAT team. So I don't know if that means they escaped and the SWAT team ushered them out, or the SWAT team breached and grabbed them. So I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. Okay, this one comes from Captain Brambles. Is this really? I guess this is a story. Okay, sure, why not? It's the world I live in now. Gay penguins adopt abandoned egg after attempting to hatch stones.
Wait, isn't this an old story?
August 14th, 2019.
Oh, okay.
A gay penguin couple at Berlin Zoo has been given an egg to adopt after staff noticed their attempts to hatch stones. Because men are really bad at giving birth, I would assume.
They're not smart enough to understand that's a rock. Why don't we give them a living being to play with?
Yeah. The two king penguins, Skipper and Ping, were given the egg last month. The egg was from a female penguin, you don't say, at the zoo, who had been unable to hatch her eggs for a number of years in a row. So I might as well. So rather than waste an egg on an idiot who doesn't know how to hatch an egg, we'll give it to these two idiots that don't know what an egg looks like. Okay. Skipper and Ping want to become parents, explains Zoo Berlin in a tweet translated from the German. Zoo staff had noted signs that the two penguins wanted an egg and had been attempting to hatch fish and stones. They sat on a fish and hoped that it would hatch.
Are they sure these penguins are gay and not retarded?
I don't know. This sounds like a bad skit in some kind of like Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Berlin Zoo spokesman Maximilian Jäger. That's a great German. You know what Jäger means?
Beer?
Hunter. So his name is Max Hunter. Told DPA that it is unclear whether the egg is fertilized, but if it is, then it would take 55 days for a baby penguin to emerge. The pair have become something of a sensation on social media. I can imagine. Two male penguins trying to hatch a rock or a fish. Yeah. Well, best of luck to the fathers-to-be.
Well, I'm glad you said at the beginning of the article they said they gave it to him last month, because I swear I'd heard that article before.
Maybe this is a follow-up. I don't know.
Follow-up, yeah. And there was in chat it was mentioned they don't have gay sex. They're just a couple of penguins that hang out together because they can't get women's. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if they're butt fucking penguins or not. But all right, they've shown obviously they don't know what they're doing. I just want to throw that out there. And you gave them a live animal, possibly.
So is that like the new standard now? It's just like those two male animals spend a lot of time together. All right, well, they're gay.
They're gay now.
They're gay. That's the new standard. That's how it works.
Let's see. This one comes from Captain. Wait, we did one from Captain Brambles. My bad. Okay, this one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Florida man thought he stole opioids, got laxatives instead.
Good job.
This is from January 28th, 2019. Oh, Colleen. Well, I don't remember this one, so I'll read a little bit, but usually I don't read old stories. A Florida man accused of stealing pills thought he was stealing opioids until he realized he had stolen laxatives. The alleged pill thief, 56-year-old Peter Emery, thought he had swiped opioids but got a mouthful of laxatives. According to WPBF, Emery was caught on video entering a victim's lockbox at a Pinellas Park home last week. He poured the pills out from a bottle that was labeled hydrocodone, acetaminophen, a pain medicine that can be highly addictive. However, Equate Gentle Laxative was inside the bottle instead. According to documents obtained by the Smoking Gun, Emery he reportedly admitted to. Okay, I think the he shouldn't be there anymore. Emery reportedly admitted to ingesting 2 of the pills because he thought they were hydrocodone, but threw them away once he figured out they were something else.
As somebody who's taken a lot of pills and may or may not have taken both of these, how do you make that mistake?
You don't look at them first, or you don't. I mean, if the bottle says this is hydrocodone, and then you take something and it's a little white pill, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, unless it says laxative on the pill, but if he's just like rumbling around in somebody's house in the dark and doesn't give a shit.
All right.
This one comes from Becca Fairley.
Bet he did give a shit.
Oh, several.
At least one.
Great minds.
Something like that. Becca Fairley is Fairly Becca. Absurd creature of the week. The parasitic worm that turns snails into disco zombies.
What?
There's a little video that plays along with this story. Let me put the link in the chat if you want to see this very bizarre thing. The premise reminds me of that, was it cordyceps, that fungus that invades the brains of ants and other little insects and takes them over to climb to the highest point and then pop off their spores.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the Last of Us? That's what it was. One of the crueler tortures to bestow on a snail is the salt shower, as the behaviorally challenged kid who grew up down the street from you could attest. It is a horrible death. The salt draws water out of the creature until it perishes from dehydration. Even if you live in Florida, which is overrun with giant foot-long snails that are devouring houses, please do not dispatch them with salt. Snails have enough problems as it is. Mother Nature, you see, has cooked up an even more sadistic punishment for the humble snail. It's called Leucochloridium. I think I'm saying that correctly. And it's a parasitic worm that invades a snail's eye stalks, where it pulsates to imitate a caterpillar. In biology circles, this is known as aggressive mimicry, an organism pretending to be another to lure prey or get itself eaten. The worm then mind controls its host out into the open for hungry birds to pluck out its eyes. The worm breeds in the bird's guts, releasing its eggs in the bird's feces, which are happily eaten up by another snail to complete the whole bizarre life cycle. That's horrific. Yeah. Oh, and there's even a diagram that shows how it operates inside the snail. Oh, God. Yeah.
The little video there is neat. Its eyes moving like that, but...
Yeah. Gross. Thanks, Becca.
I don't understand why it wants the bird to eat its eyes, though.
Well, because that's how it reproduces. The bird eats the eyes, thus the worms, and the worms get digested, and it sends its eggs into the bird's feces. The bird poops out the eggs, and then the worms breed out, and then they find more snails to invade.
All right.
Okay. How many more do you want me to do, Monkey?
What time is that? It's 53. Let's do one more.
This one comes from Angry Illinoisian. Let's see. 12-year-old Tulsa boy breaks into car to save toddler locked inside. Well, good for him.
Good for him.
A 12-year-old Tulsa boy is being hailed a hero after he broke into a car and saved a toddler locked inside. It happened at a shopping center Monday afternoon, the hottest day of the summer so far. A woman and her son were walking into the store when they saw the 2-year-old boy crying in a locked car. Nikki Fields says her son used a ratchet strap from her car and then parts of a clothes rack inside the store to break the windshield of the car. He then crawled inside and unlocked the car to get the toddler out. Police say the toddler was red-faced and in a bit of distress, but otherwise okay. He was checked out by paramedics at the scene and did not have to go to a hospital. Police say they found the mother of the toddler inside the store. She said she thought there was another adult in the vehicle when she got out.
Oh, off.
Officers questioned that, asking if that were the case, why would she shut the car off and lock it? Police say they still aren't exactly sure what happened. I think she was making up shit to try to avoid being called an idiot and go to jail for being a criminal. Officers ended up giving the mother a $250 ticket under the Forget-Me-Not law. I don't know what that is. They say they did not arrest her for child neglect because the kid was okay and this was her first offense.
I'll wait till she kills it. Then it makes
Yeah,
it better.
there you go. Yeah, wait until the kid dies of dehydration or some other thing. Police say the child remains with his mother, but there will be a Department of Human Services investigation, which, of course, as we know, Department of Human Services across the country are fully funded and staffed and always catch this shit before it turns into fucking homicide.
Real quick, thank you, Snubbirth. The snail thing was actually a part of a video game plot, if you can believe it. It was designed in MGS5 to spread a disease.
Great.
I have a problem believing anybody forgets their kid in the car.
I thought there was another person in there. Are you high? No.
Did you bring another person with you?
Yeah. Who is this other person? What is this? You just take strange adults in your car with you around your 2-year-old child?
We were, when I was working one time, woman comes in the store. There's a child in a car locked outside in your parking lot.
Oh shit.
So I called the police, and you know what they told me? Nothing we can do. They told us if we wanted to, we could break into the car. They couldn't tell us we could do that. They hinted to it, but we would be responsible for any damage and stuff.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Yeah, they wouldn't even send out the cop. I'm like, for fuck's sake, yeah. Nobody cares about these things until the child actually dies. So good for this kid. This 12-year-old boy, girl, whatever it was, good for them. And fuck that lady. You did not. There ain't no fucking way you thought you brought somebody else with you.
I've never heard that one before.
Oh, God. Lie to me until you forgot that you didn't realize a kid was there or something. At least that's a better, more believable thing. At least then I just think you're a stupid-ass crack whore.
That reminds me of a Dave Chappelle skit where he's talking about how he was the passenger in a car with his white friend, and a police officer pulls him over for speeding. Mm-hmm. And his white friend looks at him and says, "I didn't know I couldn't do that."
Right.
And the cop says, "All right, then, we'll just go on your way." And he's like, "I lost my shit. I didn't know I couldn't do that." That actually worked.
Well, and it did here. She got a fine.
Yeah, a fine, and she will have social services come after. Yeah, that's going to do something.
Jesus.
Oh, you can't come out. Oh shit! Someone just ran out with a case of beer and ran over an old lady. Yeah, look, if we'd have called him and told him somebody ran out with a case of beer, the cops would have showed up. But a kid locked in a car, no big deal. Oh God. With that, guys, thank you so much for the submissions to MSS News. But as we tell you, we can't get to them all because you guys do such a good job sending us all kinds of stuff to read, which is amazing. You guys are awesome. But we must move on because now it is the YouTube's time. And Satsu, what'd you do?
Well, I went to the store and got some more food for a couple more things that I plan to make on my cooking channel. I made a bacon chicken ranch sandwich today.
Ooh, how was that?
Very nice.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Those are good if you make them right.
Oh my God. I took a picture and put it on Twitter or whatever, and I was like, this makes me like almost not want to eat Chick-fil-A like ever again. Because it was like, I was shocked at how good it was. And I was making it and I was cooking it and I knew what I was doing, but
you got tomato and
yeah, you see it? Oh man, dude, it was so fucking. And I did that. I recorded that video, so that'll be coming out at some point. I tried my best, guys. I did everything I could to get No Man's Sky to work for PS4, the VR. But for whatever reason, whenever you boot that game up through VR, it doesn't work. Like the completely goes to black screen and it will not start. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see how that was. I did play a little bit of the newer No Man's Sky, and they did a lot of visual changes and a lot of stuff. Like they changed quite a bit in this one. So that'll be cool. Me and Monkey will probably try to play that soon whenever we can. But outside of that, just kind of chilling out.
And Scribbles, what did you do?
I started scripting for that video on the intersectional children's book.
Mm.
It is apparently written by 3 different sociologist majors who variously did their dissertations on the intersection of fashion, politics, and culture, and human trafficking.
Human trafficking?
Yeah. Or sorry, so the one person was fashion, or the combination of fashion, culture, and politics. The other one was how black middle class couples survive in America, or something to that effect. And the third one was sexual abuse and human trafficking. And these 3 people have written a children's book teaching intersectionality and feminism. The and feminism part didn't come out until the conversation. So I'm just fascinated so far. And I've only gotten like 3 minutes in, and I'm just like, what the hell are we talking about now? So that's what I'm working on. Oh, and I also cooked up the theme for Friday's show. I won't tell you what it is. You'll have to wait and see what it is.
Cool. Let's see. I did real quick in chat. We're being told take super sampling mode off your PlayStation. It'll work, Satsu.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
There you go. I did a monkey in the morning this morning. I wasn't actually going to do one because I was waiting for the update to drop, and we knew it was coming because it had already dropped for PlayStation, but No Man's Sky finally did update. But it's like, oh, fuck it, let's do a monkey in the morning since I pissed some people off on the YouTube or on the Twitter. So I did that, and then as we were wrapping it up, the No Man's Sky update dropped. So I downloaded that while I went and laid down for a little bit because I wasn't feeling real well. I almost fell asleep and missed it. And I got up.
Yeah. How was it?
I went, it's not bad. I got up, I went to stream it, and for some reason it won't play in a game capture window.
Oh.
I don't know why. I had to play it on a screen capture window instead, which was having its own issues, but I was still able to get it out there. I wasn't able to continue my game. There was an issue with when I tried to jump in my ship. It crashed the game.
That's not good.
No, it's not. I've since got around that, but what I did is I ended up playing the start over, which isn't necessarily a bad idea because they've changed quite a bit of stuff in here, quite a bit. And yeah, so I'll be doing that on my own. And of course, me and Satsu will be playing it.
Yeah, when I continued my game too, I was noticing that a lot of things were really kind of iffy because they were like, it was like things that were back then were like battling with the new stuff. Like it didn't seem like it really carried over too well, which is fine because I planned on starting over anyway. But yeah, I noticed that problem too.
There was there were a couple of graphical things I'm curious about. Like I never had a problem before with anything rendering really fast, but as I was running across the terrain, there were some times where the rendering had to catch up with me.
Yeah, that was happening for me too, but I looked at my settings and it turns out that they turned all of my settings up on the read thing, so I had to go back and readjust it back to where I had it because that was the issue with me. They had like maxed out everything and I'm like, why did you do that?
Yeah, see, mine weren't maxed out. Mine were only at the second level up. And the only thing that might be, I might need to turn down VSync crap. I'll look at it, but I was having fun with it. There are some new changes that I'm interested to look further into. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I hope somebody figures out this black screen thing though, because trying to capture a game window and not being able to do it is a pain in the ass. What else? I believe that was it. I know you'd mentioned possibly streaming tonight. Do you want to do that or not?
We can. I was thinking that I kind of wanted to because Squishy's got a headache tonight, so she's probably going to go to sleep early. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll let you know by the end of the show.
All right, guys, keep an ear out for that. And that brings us on to fucketry time. Humpetry time. Satsu, humpetry.
I got a couple things. They're not big, but there was a video that was shared with us from the LGBT community. Apparently, a bunch of them got together and they're going to sue YouTube.
I saw this.
And the reason that they're suing YouTube is because they are facing the problem that every single other YouTuber is facing right now, but they're framing the lawsuit as it's only specifically them.
Right.
Like YouTube is specifically targeting them and demonetizing exclusively their videos, and they're being discriminated against.
Well, did you watch the video?
I did watch the video.
The blue-haired guy? The one part, he starts out, I'm suing YouTube because I should feel, or this should be my safe place, and I don't feel safe here.
Oh, God.
He actually said that.
Cry me a river.
You can't sue for that.
I don't feel safe here.
That's not an actionable feeling. You can't sue because you feel. Anyhow, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump on your shit there because that was going to be one of mine, Satsu, but I didn't hear anything in there that sounded like something you could sue over.
Dude, because they didn't mute the comments for some reason. The entire comment section is just like, dude, every fucking YouTuber on this website is having this happen to them. Like everybody. Like, what the fuck make you think you're special?
Not me. My comment, because at the end of it, they said YouTube keeps dismissing our claims, and I said the court's going to dismiss you too.
Yeah. No kidding.
So that was just kind of hilarious to see them like, it's only us, nobody else. YouTube is singling us out, and I'm just like, oh, okay, is that what's happening? I'm glad because I'm rolling in cash from that YouTube monetization right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ!
They were all over the place when they were listing their reasons for it. Several of them were basically the Carlos Mazza thing. Even Lindsay, her first thing, we helped build this place, or we built this place.
Yeah.
Gay people did not build YouTube.
Yeah, she said YouTube was built on the backs of on their backs.
Oh, what the
really?
No, it wasn't. Stop it.
It was built on the backs of cat videos and Gangnam Style.
I'm just like, that's some really pretentious shit to say. Like, really, you think you're solely responsible for YouTube's success? Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what else. There was something else that I got into today. Oh, Bernie Sanders and his tweet about Trump, and the fact that Trump's cracking down on the voter ID law stuff.
Yeah. And
he said Trump is not confident about his ability to win the election, so he has to. What was the word he used? God damn it! Let me see. I gotta find the exact word he used because I don't want to misquote him or anything. So.
You don't want to be CNN.
Oh, he said, wait, there it is. God damn it, where'd it go? I just clicked it and then it took me to a completely different page. All right, here it is. Donald Trump can't win the election based on his ideas, so he has to suppress the vote to win. That's what he said.
He's going Stacey Abrams route.
Yeah, he's suppressing the votes by making sure that only people who are legally here can vote, essentially.
Except that that's already law.
I know. It's
horrible person.
It's really weird, and I'm just like, what possible reason? What possible reason could Democrats who set up sanctuary cities for people to come here illegally, encourage people to come here illegally, want to give people who live here illegally a bunch of free and the same benefits that people have already here? What reason could they possibly want people to not be identified during this next election? Like, I can't think of a single reason. What could it be? We obviously know what that reason is, but come on, Bernie. Like, really? And then just the general notion right now that it's just like people of color are being targeted because they're too stupid to get IDs. They don't know how. It's like, okay.
Wait. Old people and black people are too stupid to get IDs.
Yeah. Yep. We're not smart enough to figure that whole thing out.
You're not.
Yeah. And
telling me that.
I like the rebuttals that I was getting from some people where they had these really one-off, super unique situations on why they didn't have a license or an ID for a specific period of time. And I'm just like, dude, you're one-off, fucking extremely rare. It happened directly to me situation means nothing on the overall. Yeah, there's going to be some unique one-offs where people either can't or don't have their license or ID. But like, how fucking rare is that, dude? Like, if you're a working, responsible adult who drives a vehicle, then you have some kind of identification. Most of the time, 99% of the time, that's the case.
Unless you're a sovereign citizen.
Yeah. Or a fucking illegal immigrant. But yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck, man? This type of rhetoric, man. I'm not surprised by it, because I know everybody's like, are you surprised? I'm like, no, I'm not. But still, it's still stupid. But yeah, that's my fucketry for today.
Scribbles?
Let's see. What did I have? Oh, Carlos Maza's leaving Vox, by the way. It's not Fox.
Yes, he is.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. The story that I read, I don't have it in front of me, but effectively he wanted to take the fight to Tucker Carlson the way he took it to Crowder, and Vox had been behind him on the Crowder thing, but as he started like beating the war drums more fiercely towards other major outlets and such, they kind of leaned back and like, well, let's calm down because we have other things that we have to do. Vox isn't your personal army, you know. And where's he going to go next? I'm guessing MSNBC.
MSNBC.
That's my guess. Did it confirm that, or is that still a rumor?
That would be my guess. I mean, Vox is owned by NBC. So yeah, I would imagine him moving. That was part of his play to begin with, was to get noticed by NBC.
Yeah. Let's see. Aside from that, there was a Splinter tweet today that said, "We are not scaremongering, but you should be gripped by fear of a global recession right now."
Yep, not fear mongering.
And I said, I'm not a bank robber. I'm just telling you to put all of the money in the bag.
So we're not fear mongering, but you should be gripped by fear.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
What else?
Again, it's their truth, man. It's their truth.
TROF.
It's not fear if it's real.
What else? There was something else that I was people really liked today. I'm trying to figure out. They always move it down. It's like, just show me what was the most popular things that I said today, or the most interesting things. Why can't you tell me what was interesting? Now that's from yesterday. Oh, well, maybe there wasn't anything too exciting. Yeah, I guess that was it. Aside from the Philadelphia thing, which isn't really internet fucketry, but you know, it is what it is, I suppose. So there you go. That's all, I suppose.
Okay, Jack, I tossed you a link if you'd like to come hang out, bud. I understand if you don't want to. Fair enough.
Oh, it's my Twitter anniversary.
Your Twitterversary?
Oh my God. That's what it says. It says it's my Twitter anniversary. I didn't know. So on this day, 3 years ago, something like that, apparently I got my Twitter. So, yay.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a good decision or not, but here we are.
And there you go.
Going back to the lawsuit, there was a funny exchange that happened between Shoe Head and Tim Pool. I don't know if I can still. Yep, the conversation is still there.
I got an update on the shooting real quick.
Go ahead.
SWAT team freed trapped officers with stealth, commissioner says. Okay, so they were ninjas. Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Ross says that the SWAT managed to free the 2 police officers who were trapped inside the row house with the shooter. Quote, SWAT did that. They were so adept at doing that. They've got a skill set that they were able to utilize tonight, and they were able to use stealth to do it, and to do so in large part without him being aware, or at least we don't think he was aware, unquote. Okay, well, however you did it, good. That's it.
Now you just got to wait his ass out.
Yep.
All right, so she would tweet it out with a picture, with a still shot of the Queer Kids video. Get they ass, gays. To which Tim Pool shot back with, I agree in concept, but they have no case at all. However, people need to start challenging YouTube's status, so I look forward to this. To which Shu responded, the virgin Tim Pool talking about censorship for years, but doing nothing about it versus the Chad queer kid stuff.
Oh.
Ooh.
To which Tim replied, what? And Shu followed up with, I said what I said, Timothy. And Tim followed with, go fuck yourself. Now,
Wow.
Since then, it should be pointed out that Shu has apologized. She said that I apologize to Tim Cass for my virgin versus Chad meme. I thought it was obvious we've all been fighting censorship for years. I didn't know it would be taken as an actual insult. I feel bad. Fair enough. Blah, blah, blah. But I just read that and I laughed my fucking ass off. I was like, that is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful.
He gave a sincere comment about it, and she's just like, derp, derp. It's like, really? Calm down, Shu.
Jack, the motherfucking cocking beautiful man. How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Oh, God, this motherfucker. Hey, what's up, dude?
I know, right? Yeah, same old dick.
You like me, don't you?
I like everybody.
Oh, never mind. I'm not special.
He thought he was special.
I'm gonna go complain that YouTube is targeting me.
That's right. Hey.
I think we should all complain that YouTube is targeting us. Then it's targeting no one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
My cousin, no one.
Let's see. What else did I have? I am sponsoring the hashtag Cover People in Cheese.
Okay.
If you don't know why, you need to go listen to at least, I think it's the last hour of Monkey in the Morning today.
Is it aerosol cheese?
It's whatever kind of cheese you want.
Oh, gross.
I think cheese just makes everything better.
Yeah, you would.
Beto O'Rourke.
Oh, no.
He's got a message for Donald Trump ahead of tomorrow's rally in New Hampshire. Hate is not welcome here. And there's a video for this. I'm gonna throw it into chat for those who want to see it. It's basically his rant from the other day, but they throw in clips of Donald Trump saying the things that he says Donald Trump says.
Oh.
You know, like calling them animals.
Right. Who's them again?
Well, illegals.
No.
Right. Satsu was given the real answer. I'm sorry. I was going with the bullshit answer that they were trying to peddle. No, it's a whole bunch of nonsense, and it is a lie from start to finish. It is every fucking lie we've talked about, starting with their rapists to their animals to infestation guys. He brought that up.
No.
And I said this on Twitter, even by Democrat standards, this is fucking dirty. Just fucking dirty. It is a lie from beginning to end.
Dude, wait till like July of next year, and it's going to get way dirtier than this.
The sad part is we did read yesterday about how Chris Eliza thought Beto was having his best week ever.
Right.
And it seems he is. That poll I mentioned earlier about that shows Biden's down to 21%. Warren is at 20. Sanders is at 16. Everybody else is below that. But Beto got like a 4-point jump in that. He's up to 5% now in that poll. Apparently just running around screaming that the president is racist will get you lots of Democratic voters.
Well, I don't know. The thing that really annoys me about, that lie being spread and just the rhetoric in general is the fact that if you talk to these people and ask them, like, okay, so are you telling me that every single immigrant that has ever crossed the border has been a 100% safe and not one of them has ever committed a crime ever? And they're like, well, nobody's saying that. That's ridiculous. And I'm like, then you've already debunked your fucking argument. Because all Trump, even if you could get him off the fact that he said that, he was specifically talking about that some of those people that come over can and are sometimes those people. And your objection to that was, no, that's impossible. None of them are. Every single person that has ever crossed the border is a saint, and they come here because they want to be better and live better. There's no such thing as drug dealers and rapists and shit coming across the board. So I'm just like, the fact that you deny the fact that, that they're all good by saying, well, it's very true that at least some of them are, then you're basically siding with Trump at that point.
Well, he also included that Trump said they were fine Nazis.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, if Sylvain replied that he's fine with it. He's glad to see some of them grow a spine and fire back.
Because they never take shots at Trump?
Never. This is the first time any of this has ever been said.
Did Sylvain suffer like a severe concussion or something?
I don't know. And I just replied, I have no issue firing back, but lying is lying. And he's like, what part? I'm like, all of it. The whole fucking thing is a lie from start to finish. It's like 58 seconds of utter bullshit.
But see, this feeds into the Trump derangement syndrome. They already hate the man, and they need justifications for hating him. So he gives some disingenuous half-truths or straight up lies, and people will just eat it up and believe it because they want to listen and believe, because they hate him. They want a reason to hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on one second. I want to adjust this in chat. Nonopoly says, of course, Fain agrees with Beto. He didn't say he agreed with him. He didn't say he agreed with him at all. He's glad to see him firing back. That's the kind of mindset I don't get. This is the anybody but mindset, which I've never understood. Because I made this argument both under Bush, under Obama. When you're like, anybody but them, then you are literally saying you'd rather have Hitler than them. Literally. Anybody but them. That is a dumbass mindset to have. It is a stupid way to look at an election. Because there's a bunch of horrible people out there. Very horrible. Anybody but them. Shut the fuck up. That's retarded. That's literally retarded.
Anybody who says anybody but them voids any reason or any basis on which to complain if somebody wins and you don't like them.
Yep. They're not Trump, so what do you care? He was the worst case scenario, remember? The worst thing ever. He was literally Hitler incarnate, so who could be worse? Nobody. So you ain't got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Well, they've built such a mystique around Trump that he's just the devil incarnate. And when you do that, you have to keep propping that up. Otherwise, you'll realize that he's just kind of a McKinley or somebody equally forgettable. He'll be like Fillmore. People are aware that he kind of was somebody in politics somewhere, but he didn't do anything all that exciting unless a war breaks out. So they got to prop up the boogeyman and make him extra special scary. I'm telling you, these guys remind me of Matthew Hopkins, Witchfinder General. You got to find those witches in order to justify your job as being a witch hunter.
Yep.
Yeah. And what happens if the person that comes up next is, for some reason, just out of some crazy circumstance, worse than Trump? Well, Trump's already Hitler. Like, he's already as worse as they can get. So is this other person Hitler? Is everybody who is just bad and you don't like, they're just all the worst human being imaginable?
That's the problem with crying wolf, though. Eventually, real wolves show up and eat you, and nobody believes you that you're in danger from wolves.
Yeah, that's another thing. But we'll see.
Finally, we have to talk about Ben Shapiro. Did you guys see what he did today?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's your fault if you're poor.
Well, he didn't say it's your fault if you're poor. What he said is, one, he was pointing out the statistics on, we keep hearing so many people have to have 2 jobs. And we've talked about this before. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. That number has been falling for decades. It's like under 10% now, people who have to have, or who even have 2 jobs. And not all of them have to have 2 jobs. But what he said is that if you have 2 jobs, that's your fault anyway. You shouldn't have taken the job that made you have to have a second job. That'd be a you problem. Ben. sometimes people take the jobs they can get.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a common sentiment with people that are born into money or got money at a very young age.
Or born into a place that's just got a good economy going on. I mean, if you're born into an area that has a bad economy, and like Monkey said, you take what you can get to make whatever you can. And if what you got isn't making enough to support you or your rent or your family, you take another job, not because you're stupid, but because you need to survive and you are where you are.
You can only get a part-time job, so you need 2 of them.
Yeah.
Your job won't give you full-time, but it's still 30 hours a week. So there's a whole lot of job situations where you might need a second job to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if you're, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
Oh no, unexpected medical bills.
Sure.
Various sudden life events. Your house burns down, but your insurance company turned out to be a scam. I had a friend that happened to. That was pretty funny.
Funny, huh?
Funny.
Well, nobody really liked him. He was kind of the George Costanza, always trying to work the angles. And it was his own fault. So it's a long story.
That was a him problem.
Yeah, it was a him problem for sure. He tried to get discount homeowners insurance from a place that was located in a trailer.
Okay.
So we were all like, that's a scam. No, it's perfectly legit and it counts. Okay, dude. So
let the buyer beware. Yeah.
Yeah, and life's full of little things like that where bad choices or just unexpected events can make you need to pick up a second job. He's right in some sense that sometimes people settle for less.
Sure.
But at the same time, there are plenty of people out there. I think we probably all know somebody like that who just is struggling. Because like I say all the time, not everyone can have a happy ending.
Well, it depends on what the massage parlor you go to is.
Yeah, I know. But if sometimes they're like, oh, we don't do that. And I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Here's some more money. You do it. You do it.
And strangely, they tell you that right after they see your penis. That's so.
No, it's usually when I refuse to pay. But
there's that too.
We don't do that. Anyhow,
Monkey.
The final thing that I wanted to talk about, I got into an argument today over Apex Legends.
Wow, that's something I never thought I'd hear come out of your mouth.
Right? Apex, I don't even play the fucking game.
That's what I mean. It's like, what the fuck?
Apex Legends has a new skin.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
The new skin you can get in the game for an axe. And the cheapest you can get it, the absolute cheapest you can get this skin is $170.
Are you what? Is Apex Legends like CS:GO now, where people like gambling on skins for?
No, it's not a gambling thing.
Oh no, sorry, it's a prize mechanic, right?
No, it's not even that with them. There's what makes it lower than that is if you do all of the weekly questing and stuff, which can spend hours and hours of, you can get some of the currency free, and then that lowers the amount you have to buy so that you can end up getting it. And I got into an argument with people because I have no problem with this, none whatsoever. It is not a necessary item to the game. It doesn't help you in the game. It is literally just aesthetic. And as a gamer, that's what I want game companies doing. If you're going to like nickel and dime us to death, fine. Do it with shit that is absolutely unnecessary to the game.
Yep.
Yay, Fallout 76.
Well, yay, Fallout 76 until they fucking lied.
There's that too.
Because they said, we don't put game-altering items in the game. And then they're like, oops, we tripped and they fell in.
They found their way into the box on accident.
If I had nickel every time I use that sentence.
Yeah, in that sense, I don't really have a problem with it either, because if you want to pay $100 whatever for simply a skin, again, let the buyer beware. It's insurance and a trailer. So,
yep. And it was you saying "let the buyer beware" that reminded me of that part, actually, of this story. Because what about the kids? I'm like, who's letting their kids have access to a credit card?
Yeah.
Dumb people.
No, the majority of people.
Jobs.
Sure. Or, I mean, there's rich kids that I'm sure their mommy and daddy don't care.
Who needs a credit card when you've got a Twitch stream and a PayPal account?
Mhm.
People forget there's this vision people get in their head of people who play video games. They're all 10. If they buy something in game, they stole mom's credit card. No, most of the people who buy this shit, they're in their 20s or 30s.
They're perfectly.
That's who buys this shit.
And they spend like fucking thousands and thousands of dollars. I actually spoke to somebody who spent, I think it was like StarCraft or whatever that game is, the space game where you can, and he was like, I've literally spent over time playing this about $36,000, and I'm like,
how do you spend that money on StarCraft?
Because some of those ships and stuff, some of the items are actually sold by players, I believe.
What?
And they sell them for ridiculously crazy prices, and people buy them.
I didn't know that StarCraft had a marketplace.
It could be. I could be thinking of a different game.
Okay, yeah.
Star Citizen is what Pirates said. I don't know.
Star Citizen would make more sense. Yeah.
That's not out yet, though, is it? I know people.
Yeah.
I know people who used to do that on Diablo, though. I mentioned that this morning. Diablo 2,
online and all that stuff too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they would go out there to eBay and buy a fucking sword for $1,000.
Yeah, EverQuest was a bad one too for that back in the day.
Yeah, even WoW did that back in the day, where you could buy it on eBay until eBay was like, no, that's not real stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously these microtransactions are creating an unhealthy gambling environment and leading to school shootings. So what we need is common sense microtransaction control. And I'm going to start this initiative in about 5 years because I'm really lazy. So if you're behind me on that, just sit there quietly and wait.
Well, what we need to do is we need to increase the amount of these items so that the price goes down. It's called supplies mechanic.
I see what you did there.
I'm funny.
Their excuses, though, is what pisses me off when it comes to like trying to justify some of the stuff where it's like the game altering stuff. So have you guys heard the excuse that Bethesda gave for their stuff now?
No.
I'm Todd Howard. I don't give a shit.
Well, basically, they're calling it a convenience thing. They're saying we're doing it for convenience because, and here's the thing. I had to explain this to somebody, and once I explained this to them in the way that they meant it, then they were like, "Oh shit," because they were like hardcore defending this, and I'm like, "This is what this person is telling you. We built this game to be inconvenient as fuck, and if you want it to not be inconvenient, you can pay us, and we can make it convenient for you."
Yeah,
and I'm just like. Think about that. Think about how stupid that sounds. Like somebody.
That's every egg timer web game that's existed since they started doing egg timer web games.
Yeah, we have, and people take that they take that sentiment like, oh, see, look, they care about us. They're taking the inconvenient thing. I'm like, they made it inconvenient, dumbass.
Yeah. It's their own fault. You understand?
Like they created it to be inconvenient, so you can pay them to make it not. How do you think they can make it not if you pay them? If they didn't make it inconvenient in the first place? Like, come on, dude.
Anything that changes the nature of the game, I'm not for microtransactions. If it's just a skin, I don't give two fucks. You can make it $1 billion. I won't care.
Yeah, me neither. I don't care about that.
Well, we need to get on to chat time. Before we do that, Jack, you missed this just by a moment. What have you been up to lately on the YouTubes?
I don't really do anything new. I kind of just pump out videos. Like, here's some comic book reviews. And here's some toys, and that's kind of my gig.
Jack does the best comic book reviews on the internet. They're short, to the point, and tell you whether or not you should give a shit about a video or about a comic book. Go check it out. It's over on Bad Comic Reviews on the YouTube. They let me do it for you since you won't. You're the worst shill ever.
I am not good at this. No. Have you plugged your Patreon today?
I never do on this show. Are you going to give me shit when you couldn't even just
Patreon?
You didn't even shill yourself very well just a moment ago.
Yeah, so I'm allowed to be a hypocrite. It's fine.
Fair enough. Guys, it's your turn. Your turn. Questions, comments, concerns. Throw them into the chat now. We'll do our best to address them. Do you know if you guys are doing a comic book curation tonight?
Polly said he wanted to try it, but we were supposed to do some kind of test stream, and I haven't seen any notifications since. So I have no idea.
If you have to bounce at any moment, we understand. kind of threw this at you at the last minute. So, Jack, do you like kettle cooked chips?
It depends on the company. Sometimes they're too greasy.
Fair enough. Cody says, I've only ever spent $2 on in-game purchases, and I did that to get access to free shit that was worth more than the $2 stuff I bought. I bought pets in WoW before they had pet battles. This was back when they were just a cute little thing that ran behind you. But otherwise, yeah, I don't spend money on other stuff.
Yeah, I probably spent way too much money on Warframe than I'd like to admit. But here's the thing. Warframe is free as fuck, and the updates and the shit that they gave you in that game were so good, and I had such a good experience playing that game for years for free. I was just like, here, take some of my money.
Yeah, it should be mentioned Apex Legends is free too.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
Jack, can you rant about Brian Michael Bendis?
Oh,
Not
God.
anymore. I'm just tired of him. I've gone through the stages of grief where I've moved on to acceptance, and I've accepted that he is ruining DC by not only his crappy stories, but by getting his friends involved too. And it's a sad state of affairs, and I would like him to retire or go away to the indies again because he is awful.
You know when I knew I didn't like Bendis, and this is a long time ago, but it was the Avengers Disassembled storyline.
Yeah.
Where Doctor Strange announces very dramatically in the middle of the arc that there's no such thing as chaos magic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? In the Marvel universe, Doctor Strange says there's no such thing as chaos magic, as though this is some kind of revelation. The Scarlet Witch's powers isn't actually magic. Like, okay, first off, yeah, the Scarlet Witch's powers is kind of like magic, but also there's no such thing as chaos magic. Fuck you.
Well, he betrays his lack of creativity on superhero books. He's much better at indie stuff. When he did Powers and Jinx and Torso, his crime noir stuff was better. Even the crime noir superhero stuff like Powers. So he's better with that sort of thing. But the last 10 years, from what I've seen, he's just been garbage. Yeah. And he's done nothing but ruin characters, like bringing in Riri Williams. That was his mess. And he set up a lot of other garbage stuff that Marvel's still struggling with. So what's he do? He jumps ship and goes over to DC to crap all over their dinner table. Terrible.
Satsu, have you seen Ari Ferretta? If so, what do you think of it?
Have I seen what?
Ari Ferretta, Arifureta.
No.
I'm going to guess by your action now.
I don't think I've seen that.
Pincalo asks, have you guys checked out Don't Even Think yet? They just did a full release. No.
Don't know what that is.
We go no all around, apparently. Have you seen the Fredo Cuomo Twitter account?
I think I saw something, but I haven't paid attention to it.
I'm sure it's meme-tastic.
I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's hilarious.
Chat jumped. Give me a second here. Get back up here where we was. Oh. Lords of Night, how is Jack's cock ring?
That's fine. I just cleaned it last week. I mean, gross. Weird.
Nice.
My chat keeps jumping. That's twice before I could even get back to the question.
It's crisscross? Because crisscross makes you jump.
We got to bring you out of the 90s sometime soon.
No.
Yeah, good luck.
Name a game you're ashamed you spent money on, Lords of the Night.
Fallout 76 that I bought it pre-release.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'd like to say I was, but I did have a lot of fun playing it. So.
If you're talking about money I've spent on that I didn't need to, there was this was my first and I think one of the very few times I ever actually paid money for a game I didn't need to.
Hold that thought real quick.
Oh.
Ragnar, thank you. He's like that guy who's been fired 20 times, and his best response as to why you should hire him is he's been hired 20 times.
Yeah, he's got years of experience being hired. Way back in the day on Facebook, there was this Marvel Alliance game that was this sort of like kind of Flash animated thing or whatever else. And if you bought the currency, you could, get upgrades to the weapons and stuff. So it did effectively change the game, and you could buy other heroes to play with and upgrade and such. So I did end up spending, I think, like $25 or $30 overall buying the in-game currency just to. I wanted to get the Punisher, and you had to pay X whatever to get the Punisher, and so I paid, $10 or something, and then a couple 10 others here and there for that. I think that's the one I'm embarrassed about paying money for, because it was silly, but whatever.
Satsu?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
A game you're ashamed to have played money for, embarrassed to pay money for?
I think the game was called
Spend money on.
Reign of Fire or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what the game was about. All I know is I bought it. I played it for like 15 minutes, and I was like, "What the fuck did I buy?" And I quickly returned it to wherever the fuck I got it from. And they're like, "Dude, you were just here," and I'm like, "Take this shit." Yeah.
Jack.
Barbie's Equestrian Adventure. I bought it from a girlfriend's kid.
Horse cock. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I ended up playing it with her to, as like a bonding exercise. And the kid was cool, but when she left, I got stuck with the game, and I ended up being really good at it. And that should disturb everyone.
I know that game. We have it as well. I bought it for my daughter a long, long time ago. Monkey, can you tell Sinatra that I will find him and kill him for getting that horsecock song stuck in my head? He was in chat a little while ago.
Oh my God.
What's up?
I have somehow stumbled upon misunderstood shark memes.
What?
On Twitter. And this dude's like, the shark swimming. He's like, "Oh my God, is that blood I smell? Oh, it's coming from that person. They require first aid. Step 1, apply pressure to the wound." And it's the shark like biting the dude. He's like, "I'm helping." Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm scrolling through Twitter just looking at shit, and I'm like, how did I get here?
In chat, somebody said happy birthday to Reject. Reggie, is it your birthday?
Oh no. I mean, yay, birthday.
Reggie, is it your birthday? You got to tell me.
Well,
Somebody confirm. Satsu, are you watching Cheat Magic?
No, because so far, everything I've heard about that anime, it's just like, yeah, have you ever seen an isekai? Well, you've seen this one. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Reject is turned 37 today.
Oh my God.
Reject, another one who's been with us a very long time, and I thank you for all the support, sweetie. This one is for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Fuck off.
Happy birthday to you.
Usually got to deal with 2 assholes. Now it's 3.
Happy birthday, dear Reggie.
I don't deserve this.
Happy birthday to you. Reggie, I hope you had a great day. And I know people are like, right, Reggie. I've always called her Reggie. It was when I used to talk to her in Discord. I gave everybody nicknames just because it was easier for me to remember names that way. And that's she's always been Reggie. So happy birthday, Reggie. I hope it was great. See, Lords of Night, have you ever had cinnamon Cool Whip? No, I would eat it though.
Yeah, no.
Cool Whip?
I would try it on various things. I mean, not on everything.
Cinnamon Cool Whip.
On a nice apple pie, I can see that.
Yeah, it can be good.
Reggie says it's been wonderful. Good. I'm glad it has. And she said, thank you all very much. Yeah, you got Jack. You got a third singer. Most people don't get a third singer, even when we have guests.
That's right.
But Jack's nice enough to sing along.
I embarrass myself pretty regularly, so I'm used to it.
Ain't nothing wrong with embarrassment. Shame is for pussies.
Yeah, shame that pussy. Wait.
Yeah.
Thank you, Connor. One of my favorite shows of all time is the original Cosmos from 1980. Sure, it's dated, but I still find it gripping. Have any of you ever watched it? I've never seen it.
Yep, I've seen lots of episodes of the Cosmos with Carl Sagan. There's a great auto-tuned song that a guy put together using clips from Cosmos. I'll find it and I will post it on Twitter. It's really catchy and really well done.
Most moronic internet challenge.
All of them.
Tide Pods.
Probably Tide Pods.
Yeah, probably Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Although planking did kill some people, but
Yeah,
that's natural selection.
indeed. Werewolves or zombies? Werewolves.
zombies.
Werewolves have more of an arc, so I'll say werewolves.
I'd probably go with werewolves too. They're scarier.
I don't want no werewolf shit all over the place, man.
They get hair everywhere.
Corpses everywhere.
I'll take that over howling werewolf shit.
Okay.
Satsu, what is your thoughts on Rising of the Shield Hero?
Rising of the Shield Hero is one of the best anime of this year, so watch it. It's not the best anime, but it is definitely worth a watch. But if you are the manga type, please read the manga. It's better.
Snowbird said, I told you, Scribe. I told you. I'm not sure what that was in relation to.
I don't know.
Mr. Napoli says, or ask, Jack, why are poly streams always not on time? Do you mean never on time?
I don't think we've ever been on time. No, it's a mystery for the ages, like Loch Ness and why tampons are weird looking. So it's just one of those things. You can't explain it.
I feel like tampons are weird looking because vaginas are.
That's possible. I don't want to know the answer. You know, it's one of those things that you find out the truth and you'll be like, oh.
Satsu, where can I find that shark meme page?
I linked it.
Mr. Napoli says, did you know Chris Cuomo called himself Fredo on his radio show in 2010? Does that mean the guy that called him Fredo was a fan of Chris's radio show in 2010? No.
No.
I did know that. I know Phil DeFranco played that during his show the other day. He also had people on his CNN show call other people Fredo and never objected.
Hypocrite much? Oh my god.
CNN anchor hypocrite? What?
I know, right? Frosted, goddamn, you're gonna make me ask this. Was slavery really just an in real life game improving microtransaction?
Jesus.
They upgraded to the next arc, like Age of War.
Frosted, it's a prize mechanic. Pay attention.
Well, look. They started with Jews and they didn't work out real well, so they moved up to. Never mind. I'm not even gonna finish that.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. No, you know what? That was some fucketry that I didn't mention because it was kind of small and irrelevant. But somebody on my Facebook was like, "Imagine calling immigrants lazy when you're a bunch of people who are so lazy you enslaved an entire group of people because you didn't want to do any work." And I'm just like,
wow, why are they singling out the Arabs?
I'm like, were the people they bought them from lazy too?
Well, that would be one thing if the people who actually did the enslaving were alive to say that to.
Yeah,
I haven't enslaved anybody. I'm a cripple. I couldn't enslave anybody.
Well, one thing that somebody else also brought up too, it was like, oh, it must be super easy to enslave an entire group of people then. Like that must be like a simple task that just anyone can do, and you just got to be lazy enough to not want to do any work.
Wait, were they saying that all white people are lazy?
Well, they were saying that white people in general are because they enslave blacks. Yeah.
Oh, and if I said, never mind, I guess that would be racist.
Of
Yeah,
course.
just leave it. Yeah, the people who sold them into slavery enslaved them, but don't mention that.
Mhm.
Now I have to hate Reggie too? Question mark. I don't know what that's about. Assassin of the Gray. Monkey, I sent you a DM last week. Did you get it? Blind Press. I don't remember it. I will look through my DMs. Guys, again, if you send me shit, please don't be offended if I don't see it or respond. I get more than you would imagine. And I do feel bad when it's pointed out that I missed something. I am so sorry. You don't feel bad when I miss something?
Nope.
Very white of you.
No,
What?
nothing.
That's not racist. Is it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Ask somebody. We'll figure out later.
Matta, this could be a triggering question, so I just want to warn you ahead of time. Lords of the Night and Jack, have you ever seen a squirrel attack a dog? Jack, you want to tell us your feelings on squirrels?
I hate squirrels. I hope they all die. If I could build a squirrel concentration camp, I probably wouldn't do it because I'm lazy. But I hate squirrels, and the two that live over my head right now, if I could get a dog to attack them, I would. But no, I've never seen them attack a dog, but it wouldn't surprise me because they're evil incarnate.
Oh,
I've never seen it, but I would not trust that squirrel if it's attacking a dog. They tend to be skittish animals, and for them to go after something that much bigger than unless you're talking like a Pekingese or something tiny, in which case that's what you get for having a dog that looks like a cat.
Yeah.
did he want his nuts?
Yeah, I see what you did. Bad comic reviews. Who is your favorite comic book villain?
I don't know. It varies by who's writing the story, that sort of thing.
Dr. Doom.
Mine has always been, well, not always been, but is Venom since he came around. He's awesome looking.
Old school Venom, yes, but only specifically for Spider-Man. In the Marvel Universe, I think Dr. Doom is the all-around best villain.
I don't really.
Everything Spider-Man is best. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Satsu?
I don't really have one.
Everything Spider-Man is best? Okay, Clone Saga.
It's still better than all the other shitty stories out there.
Are ye okay?
Which is worse, Clone Saga or Punisher using his wife as a meat shield?
You know what's worse than even the meat shield part? Frankencastle.
There you go.
That was pretty bad. But the Punisher meat shield thing, I'm still pissed off about that. Like I say, fingers crossed that it all turns out to be some kind of mind control or inserted memory or something. But just the fact that is where they would go to try to insert some drama into the Punisher, fuck them.
Rich asked me, he said, I sent you a video of the React channel talking about gun laws. Have you seen it? No. Again, don't be offended if you send me something and I don't see it. Go try to follow my timeline sometime. Reggie says, we have an anniversary of the Minions tomorrow. We plan on starting at 5 p.m. Central Time. All of you are welcome to join. We plan on running it from the Discord. That's on the Minions of the Zoo channel, guys, so check that out. What's the anniversary? Are you on 2 years? I don't know. How long? Lords of Night and Jack, would you agree with the statement, 20s are for regretting, 30s are for being dignified? Fuck no.
No.
That's,
I mean, you're going to have regrets throughout all your life. Like little things, like, oh, I should have been nicer to this person. I should have gone here and done this. Little stuff like that. Being dignified, that's way overrated.
dignified is for pussies.
Yeah, I'm not rich or in the movies, so I don't need to be dignified. I'm a degenerate at heart.
Who has to pick up after a werewolf? I don't know. How funny should I think it is that Sophane laughed at my name? I don't know.
What's your name?
Check
That
your
was
logic.
check your logic.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Snoop Doggy. Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry, but Holly sent me a link, so I'm gonna have to bounce out of here.
Well, thanks for coming and hanging out, Jack.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Get
Sorry,
the fuck
Take it
out of
easy,
here.
bud.
You guys have a good one.
You too, bud.
I just retweeted Kamala Harris climbing on the pile of injured police officers to make a point.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Do you think Priest went to see The Passion and complained that the book was better? Frosted.
Jesus.
No, because most of that shit's not in the book. Monkey, would you consider putting dick cheese on people? No? Just like randomly throwing dick cheese at people? What's wrong with you?
Like smegma attack. And it's just like, oh god.
I'm good, thanks. Favorite car band? What's a car band? Band you listen to in the car? I guess.
It's a rubber band you put around your car.
I'm not sure what that is. Has anybody's Twitter reverted back to the old format? No. Guys, are you still on the new Twitter?
Yeah.
Scribbles?
Sorry, what?
Are you on the new Twitter?
I don't know. What's the new Twitter? I use the app. I don't use the website.
Oh, then yeah, he's on the new Twitter.
Okay.
Are any of you preppers? I watched a crazy video of Americans building shelters, etc. Apparently, the sales have increased since Trump became POTUS. No, I'm not a prepper.
I'd like to be a couponer though.
I'm only a prepper when it comes to staging the Dr. Pepper and the Jack Daniels and having that ready. But it doesn't last long. Then I have to like prep again.
Fair enough. Scribe, thoughts on Sarah Silverman doing blackface?
Well, it's another one of those situations we talked about the other night, and her reaction to the backlash for this past indiscretion of hers and being all shocked and appalled and disappointed in society for, raking someone over the coals for something that they did that was done in jest. Like I said, either she is just absolutely oblivious to her own actions against others and words and everything else, or she's actually had a revelation, which, whenever somebody does something stupid in life, this is my sort of quasi karma belief. There are two pathways open to them. Either they will continue to make the same mistake that they made and reap the benefits thereof, which are usually bad, or at some point they will realize how dumb they're being and change their behavior and improve. Now, I don't know which this is for Sarah, if she's just like, I'm the victim, regardless of the situation, or if she's actually starting to see the light of, hey, sometimes it's not fair to hold someone to account for something that wasn't done in order to hurt someone or to insult anybody or something else. So I don't know. I think more likely than not, given her track record, she's just being a hypocrite.
Real quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Blind Press, who says, just sending some love. Sorry, it's not much. Got that wedding to save up for, but Monkey needs money too. Also, check your Twitter DMs, Monkey. I will do that.
Oh yeah, how's the wedding fund going? I keep forgetting to check that out.
I don't know. Somebody let us know.
Blind, give us a link.
That was a question for Jack. He's gone. Who's stronger, Titan LS or Galactus? Or Thanos? Oh, Thanos is what they were trying to say there.
Who's stronger? Without the Infinity Gauntlet, Galactus. Otherwise, if Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet, when Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet, like the entire magisterium of the Marvel universe, like basically bowed down to him. So, yeah, Thanos could be crushed by Galactus. Should Thanos be caught unawares, let's say.
Oh, I wanted to comment on the Sarah Silverman thing. I don't support her being blacklisted any more than I support anybody else being blacklisted.
No, she shouldn't have been anybody. She's a comedian first and foremost, so obviously she was, and she's done other things like impersonating Hitler, etc. So No, just like James Gunn, just like Roseanne Barr, just like anybody who's had outrage archaeology pulled on them, she shouldn't suffer the slings and arrows of something that happened years ago and was done as a joke anyway.
But I will laugh when her own bullshit bites her in the ass.
Yes, the Schadenfreude of her now suddenly going like, "Oh my God, this is terrible." That is funny. But yeah. I can only hope, fingers crossed for the betterment of humanity, that she's actually turned a corner of realization now that it's visited upon her.
Brand, you boomer, this is the third time this week you misread one of my questions. I swear that said banned. Hang on, now I got to scroll back up and find that question. I swear to God, you wrote banned.
Oh, no.
How bad are my eyes? Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
And look, I'm not saying look, it's very possible I read it wrong. You know what? Welcome to Monkey Reading. Oh, it does say brand. Look at that. Huh.
Car brand?
I don't have a favorite car brand. Well, the minivan we have, which I don't it's a Town and Country. Whoever makes that's a beautiful fucking car.
Hot Wheels.
There you go. Satsu, do you have a favorite car brand before we end this thing?
Not really. I don't really care about cars.
There you go.
And to answer the question, they're up to 6:15, and the link is in chat if you'd like to donate to Blind Press for their wedding fund. Satsu, did you want to play tonight?
I kind of did, but like I'm trying to figure. I'm having the same issue that you were having with getting it to properly come up on OBS. So I'll fuck around with it for a little bit, guys. If we're not up by 11:30, then we're not streaming.
We'll either be on his channel or I'll be on my channel. One of the two, guys. So thank you so much for coming out and watching. Thank you so much for the donations. Scribbles. Oh wait, first Jack. Thank you and absentia for is that the right word? Absentia. Whatever. I can't speak either.
Because abstentia would be like he's abstaining.
Well, he is abstaining. He's not here. Absentia.
Yes.
Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Make sure you check out his channel. Scribe, Satsu, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Everybody, have a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow on Satsu 2 Cents at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye, guys.
Fuck off.
Bye.
Oh, your lives make us sad. I forgot that.
Yeah, you did.
It's too late, but